The sun hung low over Willow Creek, painting the small suburban houses gold as evening rolled in. The air was still, the kind of warm, quiet stillness that made a neighborhood feel peaceful, except tonight it was. For the past week, the residents of Willow Creek had been tense. Watching their streets fill with something unusual for a quiet town, motorcycles, big ones, loud ones, lots of them. They belonged to the Iron Saints Motorcycle Club, a group of bikers who had rented a farmhouse outside town. Their arrival stirred rumors faster than dust clouds behind their bikes. Some said they were dangerous, some said they were criminals, some said they were just passing through. Nobody knew the truth. But 8-year-old Liam Parker didn't care about rumors. He just thought motorcycles were cool. Liam was a small kid, thin legs, messy brown hair, a t-shirt 2 sizes too big, and a habit of running everywhere instead of walking. His mom said he had enough energy to power the whole town if someone hooked him up to a generator. This Saturday afternoon, he'd been outside bouncing a half-flat basketball when he heard it. RUMMM, 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 the unmistakable sound of motorcycles rolling down Brookside Lane. Liam's ears perked and he scrambled to the sidewalk, clutching the ball under his arm as 3 massive chrome machines turned the corner. Their engines rumbled deep enough to shake his shoes. Leading the trio was Axel Cross, the Iron Saints vice captain, tall, broad-shouldered, tattooed to the elbows and wearing a leather vest that looked older than Liam's school. He had a face carved by wind and weather, but eyes steady and calm, like a man who'd seen storms and learned to walk through them. Behind him were 2 other bikers, Brick and Jax, equally intimidating to anyone who didn't know them. The engines roared as they slowed in front of Mr. Donovan's old driveway, where the bikers had parked their trucks earlier that week. Liam grinned. Big bikes, big men, big noise. What wasn't to love? He took a step forward. And then he froze. Something was wrong, very wrong. Just past the driveway, right under the shade of the maple tree, Liam saw it. A thin metal wire stretched from one fence post to the other, pulled tight across the road at chest height. It looked invisible from far away, perfectly placed for someone riding a motorcycle. If the bikers drove forward, Liam didn't know much about physics, but he knew enough to imagine heads snapping back, bodies flipping, bikes skidding. He felt his stomach drop. Someone had put it there on purpose. He didn't even think. He dropped the basketball. It bounced once, twice, and rolled toward the gutter, and he sprinted. His voice tore out of him, high and terrified. "Stop, don't drive your bike, stop!" Axel's head jerked up. The boy was running straight at him, waving frantically, his face pale with panic. Axel hit the kill switch instantly. Jax and Brick followed. The engines cut out, leaving only Liam's tiny feet slapping the pavement and the distant sound of sprinklers. Then he reached Axel, gasping, pointing at the wire. Don't drive up there's something." Axel got off his bike in one smooth motion and knelt to Liam's height. "Slow down, kid," he said, voice deep but calm. "Tell me what you saw." Liam pointed again, breathless. "There, a wire. Someone put it on the road. You would have hit it." Axel stiffened. Brick frowned. Jax muttered something dark. The tattooed biker stood, took a few steps forward, and saw it. The nearly invisible, razor-thin steel cable stretched across the road. His jaw tightened. That wasn't an accident. Someone wanted a biker hurt or dead. "Holy," Brick whispered behind him. "That would have sliced us clean off." Axel reached out carefully and plucked the wire. It vibrated, humming sharply. Then he turned back to Liam. "You saw this from way back there?" Axel asked. Liam nodded quickly. "And you ran over to stop us, even though we're, well, us?" Liam shrugged. "Your people shouldn't die." Brick made a noise, something halfway between a laugh and a choked breath. Axel stared at the boy for a long moment. No fear, no hesitation, just pure, honest courage. "You just saved our lives, kid," Axel said quietly. Liam blinked. "Really?" "Yeah," Axel said. "Really." Jax crossed his arms. "Who the hell does this?" he muttered. "Trying to kill people?" Axel didn't answer. He was looking at the cable more closely now, kneeling beside it. The ends were wrapped around the fence posts with tight metal clamps, intentionally rigged, intentionally concealed, not the work of a prankster. Someone meant harm, someone local, which meant someone knew the Iron Saints were here and didn't want them staying. Axel's face hardened. He looked at Liam again. "Listen, kid, what's your name?" "Liam." "Well, Liam, you're a brave one and smart and fast." Liam's cheeks turned red. Axel continued, "I need you to do something important. Go home, stay inside for a bit, tell your mom what you saw, okay?" Liam swallowed. "Are you gonna be okay?" Axel smiled, not the scary biker kind, but a tired, grateful one. "We'll be fine now, thanks to you." Liam nodded slowly, then turned and ran back toward his house, not because he was scared, but because he knew adults said go inside when things were serious. As soon as he was gone, Axel stood and faced his men. "That wasn't kids messing around," he said in a low voice. "That was a trap," Brick growled. "You think the rumor is true? Someone wants us out of Willow Creek." Axel didn't answer immediately. He ran a thumb over the cold steel wire. "Someone wanted us dead," he said, "and I'm gonna find out who." Axel wrapped the wire around his hand like he was holding a snake. By the throat, he tossed it into the back of Brick's saddlebag and wiped his palms on his jeans. The birds were still chirping. The sun was still shining. The neighborhood still looked peaceful, but nothing about the moment felt peaceful now. "Let's sweep the area," Axel said. Jackson. Brick split up immediately, scanning the ditch, the fences, the mailbox poles. Axel walked slowly along the road, eyes sharp. Whoever set that trap wanted plausible deniability. They wanted the bikers to seem reckless. They wanted the town to blame the Iron Saints, not the saboteur. Axel had seen it. Before, small towns didn't trust motorcycle clubs, didn't want them parking near their houses. Sometimes people took the law into their own hands, but this was murder. Brick whistled. "Boss, over here." Axel jogged over. Under the bushes near Mrs. Donahue's driveway was a small, muddy footprint, too small to be an adult's, a kid's shoe. Jack shook his head. "That's not it, look again." Axel crouched, inspecting the dirt. There wasn't just one footprint, there were two sets, one small, one large. The small prints walked toward the bushes, the large prints walked away, carrying something heavy. Axel's jaw tightened. Someone had a child with them. Someone used a kid to set this trap, or brought one along so nobody would think twice about seeing them near the fence posts. "We need to talk to Sheriff Dalton," Axel said. Brick snorted. "The sheriff hates us." "I know," Axel said, "but Liam's in danger too. Whoever did this won't stop." Meanwhile, Liam's house. Liam burst through the front door. Mom, his mother, Rachel Parker, dropped the laundry basket she'd been carrying. "Liam, what happened? Are you hurt?" "No, but the bikers almost were." Rachel froze. "What?" Explained everything, the wire, the road, the shouting, the trap. At first she didn't believe him. Then she saw something in his eyes, a seriousness far too old for a child, and her breath caught. "You saved them," she whispered. Liam nodded. Rachel dropped to her knees and held him tight. "Oh my God, baby, you could have been hurt. Someone dangerous put that there." Liam mumbled into her shirt. "I had to warn them." Rachel squeezed him harder. No kid his age should be worrying about people dying. And yet her son had, back with Axel. Sheriff Dalton arrived 20 minutes later, dust kicking up behind his SUV. He stepped out, mustache bristling, sunglasses on, authority radiating off him like heat. "What's this about, Cross? You boys causing trouble again?" Axel didn't rise to the bait. "Someone tried to decapitate us with a wire stretched across the street," he said bluntly. "You want to call that trouble? Be my guest." Dalton frowned. Axel tossed the steel cable onto the hood of the SUV. Dalton's expression changed instantly. "Jesus," he muttered. "Exactly," Axel said. "A kid saw it and warned us." Dalton looked up sharply. "A kid?" Axel nodded. "He saved our lives." Dalton rubbed his forehead. "That means the perp didn't care who got hurt." Or, Axel said, "they counted on it." Dalton's jaw clenched. "This town's been on edge since you boys showed up. And someone decided to make a point," Axel said. "Nearly killed us and almost that kid." Jack stepped forward. "You gonna do something about it?" Dalton blew out a breath. "I'll investigate, but you three stay out of this. Last thing I need is you beating someone up and making things worse." Axel didn't respond. Dalton paused, looking at Axel more closely. "You said a kid warned you. Who?" Axel shook his head. "Not telling you." Dalton blinked. "What? Why?" Axel's tone dropped. "Because I don't trust you to protect him." Dalton bristled. "You're interfering with an investigation. You're incompetent at running one." Axel shot back. For a moment, the two men locked eyes, two alphas, two stubborn leaders, two forces refusing to back down. Finally, Dalton sighed. "Fine, I'll start canvassing the area." "Good," Axel said. "We'll handle things our way too." Dalton pointed a finger. "You stay out of the investigation." Axel didn't nod. Dalton didn't insist. He got back in his SUV and drove off. Axel watched the sheriff go, then turned back to his men. "Gutter not doing his job," he muttered. Jack smirked. "Was he ever?" "No," Axel said, "which means this is our responsibility now." Brick cracked his knuckles. "So what's the plan?" Axel looked down the road, toward Liam's house. "First," he said quietly, "we check on the kid who saved us." At the Parker home, Rachel nearly dropped the bowl of fruit she was carrying when she saw three leather-vested bikers walking up her driveway. Liam gasped. "Mom, it's them." Axel stopped a few feet away, hands open, palms visible. "Ma'am," he said respectfully, "we're not here for trouble." Rachel held her ground. "You frightened me." "I know," Axel said, "and I'm sorry for that, but your son risked himself to warn us. He saved our lives." Rachel looked at Liam with wide eyes. "I told you," Liam said shyly. Axel knelt in front of the boy again. "You have good eyes, good instincts, and a brave heart. That's rare." Liam smiled. Brick added, "And you run fast, like superhero fast." Liam giggled. Then Axel's tone softened. "We think whoever set the trap might try something else, maybe even come back here. We wanted to make sure you two were safe." Rachel swallowed. "You think someone dangerous is targeting you and might put my son in danger too?" "Yes," Axel said honestly, "and we won't let that happen." Rachel studied the three men, tattoos, leather, muscles, everything people warned her about, but their eyes told a different story. These weren't criminals, these were soldiers, protectors, and right now they were protecting her boy. Thank you, she said quietly, for checking on us. Axel nodded. Liam, he said, if you ever see anything weird again, anything at all, you tell us or your mom. Immediately, deal? Liam nodded. Deal, Brick grinned. And someday when you're older, you come ride with us. Rachel shot Brick a look. No, he will not, Brick coughed. Yes, ma'am. Sorry, ma'am, Axel chuckled, then he stood, and the three bikers walked back toward their motorcycles. Before he left, Axel looked back. You saved our lives, kid, he called out. If you ever need us, we'll be there. Liam beamed. The noise of engines soon echoed again, but this time the sound wasn't scary, it was comforting. It was the sound of guardians riding off. If this powerful story made your heart race or brought a smile, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe for more cinematic stories just like this. Heroes aren't always grown men with muscles. Sometimes they're little boys with big courage.